Hi, I'm Len Thompson. I'm the president of Cold Steel Incorporated, the chief instructor of our training division. And this morning I'd like to talk to you about our new products. The first knife I want to show you is our Bush Ranger. This knife was designed by Andrew Dimko, and it's based on the Bush Ranger fixed blade I made in the early 90s. And one of the things we loved about that knife was the handle. The handle of that fixed blade was awesome. And what we try to do is to capture that feeling in this folder. Your hand loves this knife. When you put it in your hand, it just feels like it belongs. All the contouring, this is all CNC machine G10 that we buy here in America. And it has a really, really good ergonomic grip. It works really well. And saber grip, it's easy to reverse it. It's a reverse grip. Works good in reverse grip. You can use it in push dagger grip. So it's a really versatile knife. Now, we made this to be what I call a medium duty field knife. It's not quite as heavy duty as an SR1. It's hard to beat an SR1, but not everybody wants to carry that weight and that bulk. This is a really pocket friendly knife. It's got a 3.5 inch Sheffield clip point, and it's got a lot of belly here at the top. Really useful knife. You could use it for anything in the field and in a pinch for self-defense. We're also going to make a Bush Ranger LITE. This will have a glass-filled nylon handle, and it's got a rocker lock with a backup safety that Andrew Dimko designed. So now, for the first time, we can make a knife that's really safe, that passed our tests inexpensively. And the key was this secondary lock that keeps the rocker lock from disengaging under impact stresses. So that's going to be big news, and this is only going to be $50 with the 8 CRV blade at $57.58. It's going to be a tremendous value for the money. You're going to get a lot of use out of this for $50 retail.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but we want to hear from you. We've got a link down in the description for a survey we're running, and what we want to know is, if you could only have three knives for your whole life, what 3 knives would they be? It's a hard question, we know. We've actually been trying to answer it here. So click the link in the description, fill out that survey, and we're gonna use it for something awesome. Also, let us know in the comments, what 3 knives would you have if you could only have 3 knives? Would one of these cold steels be in it? And we're excited to hear, so let's get back to the video.
And then we have our clip point mini tack, or Bowie point if you will. We had a lot of customers ask us to make a Bowie point or a clip point, so I love my customers. You guys, I do listen to you. I really do. I love my customers, so they asked me for this, and so I made it. The next knife we have, new for this year, is our Double Safe Hunter. Again, this is going to have a glass-filled nylon handle. It's going to have a rocker lock with a backup safety, and this one's going to be $39.99. A lot of performance, a lot of knife for the money, and especially a knife that's going to keep your fingers safe compared to everything else that you could buy in that price point. In my opinion, your fingers are very, very vulnerable with those models, but with this knife, we're very confident your fingers will be safe when you're handling and even use this knife or even abusing it. So that's going to be exciting when that comes out. The next thing I did was I put a Tanto point on the SR1. So now we have an SR1 Tanto point. And I've really kind of fallen in love with this knife. Wouldn't be my everyday carry, but if you're going to drop me off in the jungle or in the desert or in the mountains somewhere in the world and I can only have one folding knife, this would be the one. It's got a 5mm thick blade. It's got a very strong but acute Tanto tip, and it's ground fairly thin at the edge. And we can do this because we're using premium S35VN steel, so we can grind that edge pretty thin and it's still really rugged. It doesn't chip out easily and doesn't bend over. So this would be the knife. It's built like a tank. This knife held 575 pounds, 4 inches from the pivot point, and it passed all of our impact tests, even with 50-pound weights instead of 30 pounds, which is standard. So this is an absolute beast. Knowing that everybody doesn't want to carry a knife that weighs this much but wants a lot of performance, I came out with the Storm Cloud. It's got a G10 carbon fiber hybrid handle. and 20 S20 blade, powdered steel blade, and a thumb plate, and a very acute modified Tanto point. So the point is really strong, but it's also very sharp. And it has a pretty high bevel, and it's very thin at the edge, and it's really sharp. And they all do that. You can see it's just shaving easily. In fact, I was careful about cutting my skin right there. The grip is really versatile. You can transfer the clip to either side, and it's really lightweight. Looks good in slacks. I like knives that I can wear in lightweight slacks, and also that you can put in a shirt pocket. It doesn't weigh your shirt pocket down. And like I mentioned, it has the Demco thumb plate opener. That's going to be pretty cool. This is our LUZON folder. I want to make something that you can't carry balisong lots of places. We're really grateful Texas changed their mind and they allowed balisongs and switchblades now, but in lots of states you can't carry them, like in California, unfortunately. So I wanted to do a knife that's kind of reminiscent of the feel you get with a balisong, that has a big Filipino flavor. And since I'm a almost lifelong martial artist, a Filipino martial artist, this is near and dear to my heart. So I came up with the LUZON folder. Luzon's a province in the Philippines. And this blade, like you'll find this blade in lots of balisongs or something that looks like that. It's a flipper. It's got this segmented, we call it segmented bamboo handle, which gives a tremendous grip. It's flat and it feels good in your hand, and you feel like when I have that, I'm not going to lose that handle. I'm going to be able to hang on to that handle. It's not coming out of my hand. It's got a replaceable plastic pocket clip. So this is all glass-filled nylon we're using with steel liners. So if you break the clip, which is unlikely, if you break it, it's easy to replace it. And it goes on either side. So you get clips for either side. And it's got a liner lock and a backup safety. So this will also pass our tests. So we're pretty happy with that. And then I've got the 4-inch version as well. It has all the same features. And this thing only weighs about 3.5 ounces or so. Really lightweight. And I'm trying to, our 4-inch LITE was a huge success and continues to be one of our best sellers. And it's been copied by so many companies. Some of those cheap import companies have had as many as 18 copies of my LITE, different variations. And I made this knife in the same spirit. So it has a strong Filipino influence. It's a smaller version of its big brother, but it's really cool. And I think a lot of people are going to like it. Next we come to our forged push knife. There's nothing really to go wrong with this knife. It's almost impossible to break it. The handle and blade and the shaft that goes between your fingers are all one-piece forging. It's got a trough here, so when you grab the knife, it lightens the weight of the knife, but also your fingers get in there and they lock in. And this shaft is wide and thin and rounded over so that when you cut with a push knife, if this isn't super comfortable, it's very irritating and I dare say almost painful when you impact against that shaft when you hit something. But this is designed to make that as comfortable as possible. So that you can slash with it and you can punch with it. And the sheath is pretty cool because it has the ulti clip on the back, which you can tighten down and hold the knife very, very securely to your boot or to your waistband or wherever you want to put it. And it has adjustable tension here with these 2 screws, so you can adjust the tension that's holding the knife in the sheath yourself, which is an interesting take. This year we're also bringing back our Tanto line and Sanmai. So the knife making areas in Japan are shrinking. Seiki and the Gifu prefecture, that's a major place that knives have been made for centuries. And the amount of people that want to work in that industry is shrinking. It's really hot in the summer in Seiki and very humid. And people, they can only work sometimes 4 to 6 hours a day in that heat and humidity. So lots of young people are opting out of going into the knife industry and they're going into lots of other industries. There's lots of car manufacturing and ancillary jobs that have to do with cars that they could sit in an air-conditioned office and work. So it's harder and harder to get workers to work in the knife industry there. So we're moving a lot of our stuff to Taiwan, and we're making this with the same Japanese Sanmai steel that we've been making forever. This year we've upgraded it with a VG10 core though. So these are coming back in the 4 sizes. There's our really popular 12-inch blade. So these will be available soon. This is the new lineup from Cold Steel for 2018. I hope you buy it and enjoy it as much as I did designing it and making it.